Hopefully it's not like Assassin's Creed multiplayer.
Uh,
God.
I didn't care for the way they did multiplayer with Assassin's Creed or with the last
Nope.
Watch
Nope, nope,
Dogs.
nope. You want to be in game with your mates, running around, causing trouble.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you want to be doing. It's a form of escapism. Not what they did.
Well, what they did was they just allowed you to do specific missions. They had separate like co-op missions instead of being able to play through the story, and it's like that's dumb.
Yep.
Dragon Age did the same thing. Dragon
Agreed.
Age,
Dumb.
yeah, Dragon Age did the same thing with their last game. They made a big deal about having cooperative play and multiplayer and stuff like that, and then you go in and it's like, oh, all we can do is missions and unlock like cosmetics and weapons and stuff. Like, this is dumb.
Yep. You can't actually explore the world.
Yep.
Which is why Destiny was so popular at the time of its launch.
But nothing.
I digress.
Just won some awards at the Game Awards for like I don't know if it was best ongoing game. No, it wasn't best ongoing game, but it was something passion project or something. It's something in reference to the fact that it the living world style game that they've been working on or that they've moved towards with it's not a new game release, it's an MMO, and they're still adding new content and still have a pretty active player base.
Well,
Healthy.
Very big active player base.
Yeah.
Massively active player base. Not going to take the yeah. Not going to take that away from Bungie. I was sold hook, line, and sinker into Destiny 1. I did all the raids. I chased on all the events. I did everything I bloody well could. And then what started irking me was the fact that they kept on breaking the story even more than what it was when it first came out. And then they got rid of Peter Dinklage. And it's like, well, now you're changing a crux, a central character of the game. I mean, granted, you paid for his voice acting, directed him poorly, so he gave a pretty poor performance, but he's meant to sound like a narcissistic, not give a shit robot dude that says, come on then, get off your ass, come on then. How else are you meant to play it? So, yeah, they got someone cheaper. And they revoiced it. So what they did was, we'll get you in for Destiny 2's voice acting, but we'll bundle in for Destiny 1's voice acting.
And no more Dinklebot.
I like Dinklebot. I liked it. Everyone canned it. Initially everyone loved it, but then everyone started hating on it and became the cool thing to hate on it, right? I loved it, Dinklebot's acting. It reminded me of sort of like a pissed off Johnny Five, but really pissed off to the point where he just didn't give a flying fuck. It's like, all right, next, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Happy,
see,
yeah, cool.
the only time I've gotten to experience Dinklebot is when I see somebody's old YouTube video, because by the time I started playing on PC, there was no more Dinklebot.
I happened to make a Destiny video that was rather popular back in the day, and Dinklebot was still in there. And I'll tell you what, it was fun. I see Destiny. I bought it hook, line, and sinker, and then I'm thinking they wouldn't need to make a Destiny 2. They just add the content to Destiny 1 but no, Destiny 2.
Well, I think the reason they did that was because they did the big launch on PC, and they also launched it, I think, on Xbox, which I think Destiny prior to that was just PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
So Destiny 2 was not just PlayStation. It was PC, it was Xbox One, then also PlayStation. Who knows if it'll ever make it to the Switch? Maybe, I don't know.
Don't you start swearing at me, right? Seriously, don't start swearing at me now. You know it's a damn tablet, okay? But that aside, right? That rant aside, okay? I thought when Destiny came out that it was pretty cool that it was a PlayStation exclusive. I mean, it makes sense. 70 or 80 million consoles sold. Of course you want to launch on the biggest platform. But they cut themselves out of the 35 or 40 million consoles sold Xbox. And they cut themselves out of the tens of hundreds of million plays. I'm like, you guys are deliberately cutting yourselves out of the market. But then I don't think that was necessarily Bungie's issue. That was more Activision's thing.
Well,
I don't know. I wasn't in that board meeting.
I don't know about any of that. And the other thing too is they were probably who knows who approached who. Either they approached Sony or Sony approached them, probably with a bag of cash to help along with the development to make it an exclusive.
It sounds like to me It sounds like to me, Sony, having sold 70 million consoles, had a shit ton of cash. Approached that division. Here, we want your game exclusive. We will give you X amount of hundreds of millions of whatever, clappies, whatever have you. This is our game for the first, yeah. And they had the money. Spend it. And that kept them exclusivity for what, 2 years, was it? 3 years?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't pay too close attention.
I think it was like 2 years. I'm sure it was like 2 years because after Crota, done. I was done.
So you get
done because the storyline did not make sense. And then the leaked storyline that was meant to be in the game was so much better than what this drivel of patchworked animations, and it just confuckled the mind. Seriously, it made no sense. Great game. When you're in the particular bits and pieces and you're doing the raids or you're doing the bits, excellent game. Excellent game. I loved it. I loved the way the Titan felt. Me and Titans, busy wingers. None of this Warlock or Hunter bollocks. Big guns all the time.
Excuse me?
Bang, bang, pew, pew. When in doubt, get your jelly out. Jelly horn. Bang, bang. I loved it.
You're talking to a Hunter main over here.
I tell you what, the Hunter mains are only good for one thing. Dying. That's what they killed, what's his face?
Oh, you better take that off, sir.
Exactly. What's his name? Kincaid or whatever?
Cade 6.
Towards the end, he was the most funnest thing to come out of that game. Kincaid, I think it was Cade
6.
Sorry?
Cade 6.
There you go, Cade. He was the funnest thing to come out of that game because it was bang and snippy and, all that sort of, I was get you back, Great. And then when his death scene was like, meant to be all dramatic and I was like, what? This isn't... You build up this... What? No. Done. Played the demo. Got the Forsaken download. The Titan feels so different. The guns feel so different. It's not the same game as Destiny 1. But in the same breath, should it be the same game?
Here's the thing, like they're constantly changing and balancing those things from the different class abilities to the weapons and all that stuff, and a lot of that is because of PvP.
Then PvP should be its own separate thing.
It should. I think games
PvP keep things in PvE. Jellyhorn just demolishes. I love my Gellahorn. I loved it.
I've said it before, but I love the way that Guild Wars does it. When you play, is it Guild Wars 2, I think? Well, I'm assuming the first one did it the same way. But Guild Wars 2, when you play PvP in that, you have a total separate set of equipment. And everybody has the same equipment. So you load in, when you're playing PvE, by yourself, with other people, whatever. That's all the stuff that's available there. But then when you go load into PvP, it's different equipment. And it's all standardized across the board.
Yep.
So that to me makes so much more sense than trying to balance things, because inevitably what ends up happening is you take something that feels really good in the PvE environment and it doesn't work, or it's unbalanced in PvP, and then that gets nerfed and that sucks because it works so well.
It affects PvE. There was a gun called, I think it's called the Black Prince in Destiny 1, completely sidelined. Okay, no one knew, but it was my little dirty secret. Or Black Ripper, I'm sure it was called the Black Prince. And obviously me, in my Titan, I wasn't paying too close attention because I chose a female Titan. Not that it matters. I always thought, female frame, smaller hitbox. Worked. No, it did, no, seriously. Much slender frame, harder to hit when you're doing... But that's a different idea I had in my head. But there's a rifle called the Black Prince. Full auto. It was like 1 or 2 DPS shy of the one that got nerfed previously. But the rate of fire from the Black Prince was a lot higher than the one that got nerfed. So in effect, if you did the math, which I think Grit did the math, the Black Prince was DPSing a lot quicker than the other ones. And it was just a fire hose. Brrr, and it would melt. And it had like 45 round ammo cap or 35 round ammo cap. And you'd kill one dude, kill the next dude, kill the next dude, reload, quick reload, kill the... It was great. It was great. And then you just go, trump card, Jellyhorn, boom. And you'd melt because it not only would it detonate, okay? The funniest thing ever is that not only would the Jellyhorn just detonate on the spot and kill like 3 dudes, right? The missiles that came out of it would hunt the other guys going for the objective, right? So you see these other poor guys going and turn and run, and they try and sort of leg it, but the wolf missiles and stuff came out and killed him, and you could see the rage in their face because one player had a Jellyhorn. And
it sounds like that might be the reason why that hasn't made it into Destiny 2 yet.
It was nerfed. Horrendously nerfed. Thunderlord was a good gun as well.
Oh, we got that.
You just felt like you were just, the sound and the acoustics that gun made, and it just made you feel like, right, time to exercise some pain. Oh, look,
Thunderlord works great, especially against a bunch of mobs.
I used the Thunderlord in I keep forgetting what its name, but you drop down and you're in a black pit, and it just hordes that come at you. The Thunderlord in that is particularly nasty. You just mow them down, reload, mow them down, pick up ammo drops, mow them down. Oh look, there's a set of... No, I can't grab it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did enjoy Destiny.
They've brought a lot of content that was made for Destiny 1, and they brought it into Destiny 2. A lot of reused what are they calling it? Reconditioned combat content.
It's just reused assets.
Yeah.
Because they can't... I want to say it's reused assets because they can't be asked making new stuff. But, it's the nostalgia effect. Nintendo thrives on the nostalgia effect. Bungie's only coming to understand the nostalgia effect. I swear to God, if they put a Master Chief suit in there, every man and his dog that plays Destiny will be wearing at least some sort of... I just want the helmet.
Yeah, I don't think they could get away with that, though. I think Microsoft would sue them into oblivion.
No, they did get away with it. One of the... was it Mars? Sure, it was Mars. One of the missions you go on, you kill a tank, right? That's pretty spot on with its aim. You kill a tank. You go down to collect your bits and pieces. You turn around, and you look at the tower that you just, obviously fired from it. It's the Master Chief's helmet. Yeah.
The tower itself is made to look like that?
Yep. Same sort of divots. It's got the peak. It's got the bits. Turn around. It's Master Chief.
Yeah, you can get away with something like that, but actually making or giving your character the ability to look like Master Chief, giving him a costume to wear, Microsoft would probably sue him into oblivion.
You can get away with it. Just don't call it Master Chief. Call it the Chief of Masters. And don't paint it green or military green. Just paint it olive green.
Well, you can make it whatever color you want with all the shaders that you get access to. So yeah, what are they going to call him? The Supreme Chief outfit?
Why not? Supreme Chief. Why not?
The Sous Chief.
And just started to look like the first variant of Master Chief. I think in Halo, my favorite suit's Halo 2. Halo 2 suit, favorite one. I played Halo 2 more than I played Halo 1 or Halo 3. Halo Reach, for me, was the best Halo because of the story that was told. It actually felt like proper dog shit after you played it because you felt for these fictional carriers. Carriers? Good God. It's a headache, you see. The fictional character, you felt like absolute dog shit for these characters, right? And you're at the end, you're running around killing all these dudes, and you're like, you're gonna die. These guys are gonna find you. You've got no ammo. You've just got your melee now. Oh, there's a grenade. Pick up the grenade. Throw the grenade. Kill. Oh, there's another. Yeah, you're gonna die, and you just can't help it. You just can't help it. The other Halos suck.
Well, I didn't get.
They did a very good job. They tried to kill Master Chief by instilling a new version or their own Master Chief. Sorry. I'm so sorry it didn't work. They didn't do it right. If they'd done it as like a handoff, saying, right, Master Chief, you're retired. not like that, but like in a better way, and then they can carry on with their own sort of story, and then still have his own thing, but then have their own sort of, their own sort of stem going off. I thought the dudes from the thing were pretty badass, but then, you play the story and it's like, you actually end up hating these guys. You do.
I heard there were a lot of complaints about, story bits or here or there, but I mean, after the first Halo, or maybe the second one, might have been the second one, they weren't coming to PC anymore. So I didn't have an Xbox and I couldn't play them.
Into our first topic.
Yeah.
Does it not, Drac?
right back into the exclusives.
Right back into the first topic. Welcome, guys. We are obviously doing a joint news day today. Forgive our past rants about Destiny and whatever have you and stuff. I do love me some video games. I'm sure Drac does as well. He is also here, as you guys can see, sporting his spiffy Bammsters. I unfortunately don't have it yet because I'm wearing a green long sleeve shirt because it's in the UK and it's rather nippy. So I'm doing that. So Microsoft. You're in California, dude. It's practically a freaking desert, okay? Some people on YouTube don't even think California exists, okay? Scratch that. Some people on YouTube don't even think Australia exists, or Scotland for that matter. Yeah, never mind.
Are we going into a flat Earth topic right off the bat?
No. Those people need heads examined and certain parts of their anatomy removed. Lobotomy,
Oh, I was going to say, are we saying the gene pool needs some chlorine?
No. I said lobotomy because that's the safest way with the crazy ideas. But you take of that what you will. Never mind. Happy day. So Drac, G's not with us today because he's not. It was going to be a 3-man news session, but now we're just 2. And first topic is Microsoft and Halo. Drac, what have we got?
Well, they're very happy with how the Master Chief Collection has been selling, so which I'm not shocked by. They released it out, or re-released it, I should say, but now it's out on PC as well. It's only $40. You get all of these games, and I think it's Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4 plus Reach. All of these games for $40, and yeah, they're older, but a lot of the graphics have been updated. They're a lot of fun to play. Reach has already been released. The other ones are supposed to kind of trickle out throughout the year leading up to Halo Infinite.
Reach is so good.
Good. It's been fun. I had a good time. I actually just finished the story last weekend, though, so I only just got around to finishing the story campaign of that. But one of the guys in the guild that I'm in for Destiny, they were all excited about Halo, and we've been playing some of the custom maps because I guess folks have found that if you still had custom maps saved from one of your old Xboxes, you could port those over onto your PC and then load them up. So yeah, there's been a lot of different things, and we've been trying out and having fun with it. It's been kind of hilarious.
I used to watch Red versus Blue on YouTube. Obviously,
yeah.
I was do that. But then those were the games to play. You got an Xbox so you could play Halo. You got a PlayStation 4 so you could play Tomb Raider. Those were the games.
So if you had to guess, how many people do you think were playing Master Chief during the launch week?
Okay, what type of figures are we talking here?
Well, just on yeah. Well,
thousands.
if you were to guess how many people were playing the Master Chief Collection on PC and Xbox One during launch reach.
Now, don't start anything now when I say this. I played Halo 1 first on the PC, and then I played Halo 2 and 3 and Reach on the Xbox. And for me, I'd say a couple million, because those games are so iconic.
Yeah, they had close to 3 million people playing during. Now, for some folks, then they hear about game releases selling 7 to 10 million. They're like, oh, okay, well, that's not really that big a deal. It is when it's like a 15-year-old game, and it's just now back to nostalgia again, right? Yeah, but it's now just being re-released on PC, and so it's a whole new crowd. The other thing that was hilarious is I'm listening to these guys who played it back on Xbox, and they're talking about playing this when they were in like high school and younger and stuff, and I'm going, wait, what? I was in college when this stuff came out, or already out of college. Like,
yeah, this is pretty bad. I think it launched in like 1999 or 2000.
Yeah, I was
still in high school then, dude.
Yeah, I was already out of college at that point, and man, it's funny. And so they had a lot of experiences that I didn't have because they played a lot of these games, back then that I didn't even have access to. But just the timeline was crazy when they started talking about when they were playing these things. It made me feel really old again.
And you know what? Not necessarily nostalgia sold these games, right? What sold these games, I think, is that they were, at their core, essentially a great story. Guilty Spark can fuck off. That little bastard. He can die. But anyway, great story. And that's what I think sold it, because 2019 hasn't necessarily been, or 18, hasn't necessarily been the best years for story-driven video games. And whenever you want to be sucked away from your terrible life, I mean, who doesn't? And put into, not necessarily a hero role, but put into a different role where you don't have to deal with everyday nonsense, but you can just go and say, right, straightforward, I'm a hero shooter, let's go do some hero things, dab, dab. You can, that people are looking for that experience again. So yes, of course, they're going to buy an older game and that has a story that they know, and it's 4K, and it's HD, and it's retextured, and it looks amazing, and it sounds great because it's all been redone, and it's...
Well, some of the things are definitely dated. Some of the voice acting and...
Come on. They can do so much. They can only do...
Oh, no, I know.
Star Wars, the second trilogy, second... They tried to update that, and they just couldn't. The first trilogy, which really was the second trilogy, so it's 1, 2, and 3, but 1, 2, and 3 actually 3, 4, 5. That's... Yeah.
Well, that's
update it, and they ruined it.
Well, that's what happens when you put Yoda in charge of numbering things.
Oh man! Speaking of Baby Yoda, the Mandalorian on
Disney Plus.
Oh man, I can't wait till they do a worldwide launch of Disney Plus, because I'm going to get that. I got me my Netflix. I got me my Amazon Prime, because I buy a lot of things of Amazon. I just get Prime.
Well, let me tell you, when you can get it in your area, watch it, because damn, it's good. It's the pacing is a little slow, and there are definitely there's been at least one episode to me that kind of just felt for the most part like filler, but each one has been really good. Even with the slow pacing and stuff like that, it's just been great. Now I'm biased because I've always loved Mandalorian type stuff. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in. And then of course, Baby Yoda takes over, and he's just so fucking cute. You can't be mad at him.
I'm gonna let you have that right. Old Yoda, wrinkly old scrotum. Baby Yoda, come here, bro. Come here, bro. I'll give you. Come on, bro. Mandalorian just, I've watched YouTube clips where he's just picking him up and putting him down. It's like, oh, dude, man. Dude. Amazing.
Yep.
I just can't wait. Because then it's very much a case of I can stop buying videos on Amazon Prime. A lot of videos I bought on Amazon Prime are Marvel and DC and stuff like that. Disney Plus has it all. So,
well, not DC, but DC has its own streaming service. I
don't have to necessarily buy any more of the Marvel Universe, because Plus has it, and Netflix I'm paying £10 a month for. Amazon I'm paying, I think it's 8. Whatever. Still cheaper than TV subscription. Yeah. Yep.
Well, until you start adding them all together, and
UK 20 quid, and I have that. It's still, even with the 20 quid, and I'm already spending 18. It's still cheaper than TV subscription, as into like a Sky or whatever have you. Still cheaper.
Well, yeah, if you
gotta pay for the installation. No, it's not that. Connect, go, done.
Yeah, if you limit yourself, but if you're trying to get into all these because all the different shows you want to watch are on all these different streaming networks, it starts to add up. So,
yeah, no,
you do have to pick and choose.
Hulu is something I want to get on, but at the end of the day, I could have 7, 10 different bits and pieces, and it will cost me the same as if I had just a regular old Sky Plus or whatever have you in the UK. But right now, Netflix and Amazon. That's it. That's all I need.
I have the same thing. I have Netflix and Amazon, and I got a buddy of mine that's got Disney Plus, which is how I can watch the Mandalorian stuff. But I've kind of been thinking about switching off Netflix and shifting over to Hulu because they have an optional add-on with Disney Plus. So
See, that's why I wanted Hulu, because I knew about the two combined. Ooh, I wouldn't have thought of that.
yeah, I've been thinking about it lately.
Ooh. Don't tell Netflix. But having said that, right, Netflix have produced and made a whole of their own, and they've been bloody good.
Oh yeah.
But then in the same breath, so has Amazon Prime. I love Expanse. That is a great show.
I'm still meaning to watch that. I've watched the Jack Ryan stuff on there, and I've enjoyed that. But G keeps telling me to watch The Expanse, and I think there's 4 seasons in now, and I've seen 1 or 2 episodes out of the first season. That's been about all I've had time for.
Very drawn out. Takes a long time. However, the action scenes aren't few and far between. Almost every section or every episode has an action scene that's pretty good. I think G likes it because it's the most accurate representation of things floating in space. That's it. That's why I think he likes it. I don't think he cares for the story. I just think he cares for the movements and the spaces and the things and the places and that's real. It has gravity. I don't think he actually knows what the story is. But then, if he was here, he could correct me. But he's not. So that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't know. The way that he's talked about Star Trek in previous episodes and how he seems to keep all that stuff up in his head, he probably does know the story, I would say.
No. G doesn't understand the fundamentals of having a good... Star Trek is drinking a good wine. Star Wars is drinking Coke. I've made this analogy before. If you get a very expensive bottle of wine... Star Wars. Very expensive bottle of wine. And you give everyone a cup, they're going to go, it's so delicious, and they get all pompous and all this upturned nosy nonsense and whatever. However, if you get a bottle of cheap red or cheap white, everyone says they don't have to act that way. They just drink it and have a good time. And Star Wars is that. He says it's sci-fi fantasy. Yeah, okay, whatever. Still fits in the analogy. Star Wars if you want to have a good time. Star Trek if you want to believe that humanity's going to save everything. Which it won't. Never mind.
Yeah, we can't even figure out our own stuff on our own planet.
This utopian idea of humanity's going to be okay in the end. Nah, bruh.
Yeah.
The state we're in right now, the aliens don't have to bother taking over.
But speaking of which, did you see the picture I posted on Discord into the Bammsters channel last night? Grit was giving me a hard time. He said I made it sound like clickbait, but we went to a beer tasting yesterday at this home brewery place where you can buy home brewery supplies. And I think I tried about half a dozen different beers that they had. Range of stuff. Like they had one that had like hints of pine in it, and I'm like, I'm gonna try this. It sounds strange, but I'm gonna try it. And the pine was very subtle, and it was more of you got it more in the aftertaste, and you could smell it a little bit. Yeah. But it was pretty good. Man, they had a one they called the Imperial Stout that it was a nice dark thick stout with hints of coffee and chocolate in it, and they had one with honey in it that was pretty good. Like I said, I tried like half a dozen different ones, and I think I liked 5 out of the 6 that I tried. The other one was it was okay. It wasn't that great though.
Mediocre. So you wouldn't necessarily go for it. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, but no. It was a good time, and we were doing stuff like that where it was like we're tasting it and we're like trying to see if we're catching the flavors that they're listing up on the thing, and not intentionally acting like snobs, but a little bit.
Whenever I drink wine, I get like a banana aftertaste. That's all I can.
Oh, taste. They had a banana, a banana one too that tasted really good.
The thing is, the weirdest concoctions you wouldn't think was pine in beer.
Yeah.
I would never thought of that. But if you think about it, that pine smell in the wind on a nice breezy day, it's quite sort of uplifting and refreshing. And why you want a beer that you can drink and actually have that? I like that.
Yeah, but how do you do that? How do you get that into the beer? Are you taking like just bags of pine needles and?
No, pine cones.
Oh, you get it from the pine cones.
Well, the oils and the pine.
See, I almost wonder if you're mashing up like bags of pine needles and letting the fluid soak in that.
I've got it. You can have pine needle tea. You can actually go to the pine trees, obviously, right? Strip off the pine needles, put them in your boiling water. Boom. That's how they do it.
Oh, they can boil it. Yeah.
So they use the concoction of that. So pine needle tea as the water for the wort to then ferment.
Okay. Huh. That's interesting, though.
And you know who taught me about pine needle tea?
G? Grit?
No. Survival training.
Oh. Well, I know G likes his tea, so.
But he drinks. I don't know. Was it raspberry? Tea's tea, Brew. Just get you some Earl Grey. Get you some milk. Get you some sugar. Done.
Yeah.
Tea.
Well,
Coffee.
I'd say that analogy probably goes more with, or that saying could probably be said more about coffee than tea, because there seems to me to be a much wider variety of flavors of tea that actually do taste different than coffee does.
There is a tea shop in London that you can go to, and speaking of this, I might take G there when he comes up. You go there, and it's just full of tea. Take whatever tea you want. Obviously, you take like a box of this tea, and it's like proper tea, made properly old school. So it's tea leaves all ground up, put it over a strain, and you pour your water over it and mix it. I think that's a good shout. I might take G there, because there is a tea shop in London, and I don't think it's too far from the tobacco docks. So it's not a schlep of a walk. So I think we might take G there and have a good time drinking tea.
Hey.
I mean, come on, tea's tea, bro.
Why not?
Tea's great. Yeah.
Especially with the little whiskey.
You know, there's a whiskey shop in London as well that's just as good. And a rum shop. And a vodka shop. And a brandy shop. I can't think of the fifth one, but anyway. Yeah, Anyway, next topic, we got sidetracked yet again.
It happens a lot.
Yeah. Welcome.
But, so, anyway, yeah, no, continuing on with the Microsoft news, back when they were doing the video game awards, mid-December-ish, they announced the Xbox Series X. So it has a name and a release date. It'll be releasing in holiday 2020, which is kind of what we expected, since that was going to be pretty close to the time that I think. Now, see, I know a couple of guys had been theorizing that the PlayStation 5 was going to be releasing in potentially March or April, but you said you heard a release date for holiday time frame or third quarter.
Yeah, look, if I could remember where I saw it, I'd link it right now. But obviously, curious as to know where, and how. And it was just third quarter of 2020. That's it. Confirmed third quarter release for 2020.
Okay.
That's holiday season. You know, July, September time. Launch it then. Prep for Christmas. Biggest sale ever. And I really do hope the lines are blurred this time, because crossplay on platforms now is more important than ever. I'm playing more trips. I'm having more playing with the Xbox people than what I did with just playing against PS4 people, because there's so many more people to actually play with. It's great.
Crossplay is becoming more and more of a thing, and I'm happy about that. I'm excited about that. Let the players play the games where they want to play them with anybody else.
Exactly. I do hope the two consoles are more evenly lined. One doesn't have to lord over the other one.
Yeah, that's. I can't speak to the specs. If G was here, I'm sure he could, because I haven't done any research on what PS5 was supposed to be. But I do remember, I think it was him and Grit both saying that it seemed like, from the stuff they were seeing, that both PS5 and the next Xbox, which we now know as the Series X, that they were very closely comparable. And but the funny thing is about this one, whereas we're seeing that the dev kits with that V shape, and which probably isn't going to be what it looks like when it finally launches. We see the final design for this Xbox One, and it was an unexpected shape. It looks like a tower, but when I say tower, it's a square box, but it's tall. And the funny thing about that is, it almost looks like if you're looking out into a city and you got one of those square towers sticking up above, everything else.
Yeah,
it kind of looks something like that.
I'm there. I think they're pushing it more towards the tower side of things because, essentially the Xbox is just, don't want to say this out loud, but I'm going to say it, poor man's PC.
Well, when that showed, Jolly came into the chat and he was like, Xbox by Dell.
Jolly the thing is, don't fucking laugh. He's more switched on than what people fucking let him, that he lets on. Jolly, he's a clever sod, that one.
Yeah, he is. He's funny.
Wily as a fox, as sharp as a whip, him. Seriously. Yeah, but that's the sort of, exactly. Yeah, honestly, it's poor man's PC, and so will be the PS5, which I'll be purchasing 2 of.
Why would you get 2? One for you and one for your wife? Okay.
My wife's joining me playing on the PS4, the other PS4 we have, because we've got a PS4 that has it's downstairs and the Pro's upstairs. Obviously, I'm playing the Pro. Come on. And she plays on her PS4, and I got the Pro upstairs, and we actually play Anthem together. And comments have been made on that where we dress the same. I know. Completely unaware, because I stuck yellow and green and brown and whatever, and she did the same thing. And then...
So what you're saying is she has your horrendous taste in color schemes.
Match made in heaven. And then another gamer we run with regularly vapes. Oh, that's so cute! You look the same! I'm like, oh god, no! I didn't realize it at the time. But he was absolutely 100% correct. Well, I was blue, with blue and white and green sort of flashes. She was pink, white, and green flashes. And I was like, oh, jeez, right. Okay. Absolutely right. But hey, it's one of those. She runs the Ranger. I run the Colossus, and we have a lot of fun kicking heads, cracking skulls, pulling teeth, shaving faces.
See, if you'd been playing on PC, I could have joined in with my Interceptor.
Crossplay.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yep. So, have you gone back? Because I know you guys were asleep when the Game Awards were going on. Did you go back and watch any of that at all?
No, I've got 3 kids.
Well, I don't.
No. No.
Yeah.
I work 8 till 8, 6 days a week, and my one day. No. No.
Well, if you get a chance,
look at my hair, bro. Seriously, it's thinning out because of the stress.
When you get a chance, check out some of the game trailers that they were showing there. And I will say this: as much as we all give it shit for being the commercial awards with a few game awards thrown in, it kind of started to feel like that a little bit at the beginning, but it didn't feel as bad this year with the commercials as it has in past years. But yeah, go check out some of the game trailers, like when they were announcing Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. Just, I honestly, like, looking at that video when I was just watching the live stream, it was difficult to tell whether or not that was CGI or an actual person. It was looking that good, as far as the trailer went for it. So
they haven't dipped into the uncanny valley then.
Not entirely, but I mean, it was just it looked really, really good. And then they announced that, and then there was a slew of game announcements that were coming out. Gearbox announced one that they've, I guess, been working on called Godfall, and the surprise about that was they announced it as a PS5 title. So it's not going to be coming out until the PS5 comes out, and it'll be released. I'm getting kind of annoyed with the way that some of these games are getting announced as PS5 exclusives, because I don't know that necessarily that Godfall did this, but I've seen several where they're like, oh, it's a PS5 exclusive, and then somewhere along the way it'll say, and available on the Epic Game Store. It's like, well, it's not a PS5 or a PS4 or a PS5 exclusive if it's also available on the Epic Game Store.
It's just exclusive to those who are willing to pay me money for my game.
But
PlayStation has got the money to make these exclusives. Honestly,
no, but that's the point though. If you can buy it on the Epic Game Store, you can play it on PC. So it's not exclusive to the PlayStation. But it's not exclusive to the PlayStation.
No, I'm there.
I get caught up on little things like that. That's like when you go to a store and it's like buy one get one free. The second one is not free. If I have to buy something, it's not free. So it's 2 for half off.
I swear to God, I need to keep you away from freaking grit. Oh my God, I'm getting another freaking headache. Oh.
But yeah, definitely check out the trailer for Godfall 2. That game looks really interesting. I'm curious. There were several games that they put trailers out for that look pretty cool that I'm gonna have to do more research on. Godfall is definitely one of those.
Not gonna say a thing because, as we all know, games to launch on the console first tend to be flops. I say this, but Warframe launched on the PlayStation 5 first, and it's still going strong, and I really enjoyed Warframe. But then, Draft Club or Draft Trial, whatever you want to call it, bombed. What's that game I got it bundled. 2 controllers, a camera, Draft Club, and that other one. Can't remember it right now. Bombed. Terrible story. Beautiful visuals. Yeah, bombed. So the I want to say the real developers and the real publishers, I don't know, would come out sort of like 6 months to a year later, the next Christmas, and then 7 years later I'll be buying PS6. Yep. I think the PS4 is perfectly adequate right now as we've got. PlayStation 4 Pro streaming, pushing out 4K, got 4K TV. It's excellent. Excellent. I can see the sweat beading off flies' backsides. That's how good it is, right? But, okay, that's not a very good analogy. I've got a headache, right? My brain's not functioning right now. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, you know what? The new series of consoles, I think they're supposed to be able to handle ray tracing, I believe so. And things like the Xbox One X, Series X, that they said is coming out is supposed to have like 4 times the processing capacity of, the latest gen Xbox consoles. So the Xbox
only 4
Pro or something like that. Only 4 times.
Only 4.
Yeah. So I don't know. Good luck for you guys. I just need to buy a video card and switch it out so I can get ray tracing working on my PC.
Yeah. PlayStation
of course,
5.
I'm probably gonna spend.
Your video card's gonna be £600.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna spend as much or more for the video card as you are for the console anyway.
And at the end of the day, you've spent more money for the same experience.
For that specific one.
The same experience.
Have you seen my game library?
Have you seen my game library?
I have not seen yours, but I can show you mine.
No. What I'm saying is, right, to get me started into playing video games, it's cost me a lot less than it has yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
a decent laptop that can actually do things with, so that's cost me a few £100 as well. But then the one I did have before that was old. Was old. This one, great. It's nice. It's got the pretty colors. It flashes red, green, and blue. Very nice. Very pretty.
Well, and on that note, should we wrap things up for today?
Yes, let's.
So, for those of you who have stuck with us, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Click all the things. Give us all the thumbs up. It absolutely helps. Share it out. Ding the bells. All the fun things. And
all the fun things, guys. I just want to revoice, restate. that phrase I can't think of right now. Of what Drac has said. Thank you very much for sticking by with us. Click, like, comment, subscribe, all the bits and pieces. You've got to double us now to thing. We've been unsubscribed. A lot of our previous subscribers have been unsubscribed from our channel. Don't know why. They don't even know we exist anymore. So whatever you can do, do it. Yeah. Cool.
Adios.